Today we're going to be going over some fragrances that I really think are perfect. I don't believe that it would get much better than these, and while this is so very subjective, everybody has different taste, everybody has different desires, what they're looking for, what they're trying to achieve with their fragrances. To me, these work well. They check off all the boxes that I'm looking for, and I think that they would work well for a lot of you guys as well. A lot of the times, people who are watching my videos, we're kind of on the same page as far as what we like, maybe what we don't like so much and what we're looking for. And so these work for me. Maybe they'll work really well for you as well. A lot of these are going to be cooler weather leaning just because that's the direction that we're heading. You know, we still got some warm weather coming up, but a lot of these are going to be more suitable for the fall and winter usage. This first one is Tumi Continuum. Okay, big old 200 ml bottle here. This one has tobacco and suede as two of the main notes. And the tobacco is what sold me on this one. I had to buy it. And that always goes a couple different ways. Sometimes tobacco will be listed off and you really pick up on it. It smells great. It's at the forefront. It's strong. And I love it. Other times tobacco will be listed in a note breakdown and you don't smell it at all. And so going into this one, I was kind of questioning how this would play out. Come to find out, the tobacco is very strong and it is at the forefront. That suede is in there as well, giving a bit of a leathery feel, and then some nice olibanum to give it this interesting kind of bright, slightly smoky smell also, which I really enjoy. And that note is used quite often to, I don't know, just give you a little bit of a balance in terms of just not going too far in one direction or the other. Even though this is a tobacco scent and it's used pretty heavily, it's not a crazy, strong, like overly medicinal pipe tobacco to the point where it's a bit too overbearing. You know, sometimes you might think of like a Mancera red tobacco, which can be very challenging at times. That's not this. This is a much more wearable designer level tobacco. Think of it more along the lines of Dolce & Gabbana The One in terms of versatility. Now, in terms of smell, they're quite a bit different. This one actually has a bit more going on behind the scenes compared to Dolce & Gabbana The One. You might find that this one's actually a little bit more unique. It has a little bit more to offer. But just in terms of versatility, it's more in that category. You could wear this for pretty much anything, formal, casual, as long as it's a bit cooler outside. And the price on these are usually pretty reasonable. I don't remember what I paid for this 200 ml. I know the 100 mLs are usually going to be somewhere, I don't know, maybe $50 range. This next one is Azzaro, the most wanted Parfum. Absolutely love this flanker. You know, we're kind of to the point where it's getting harder and harder to choose a favorite because with each passing year, just about, they release a new one. You know, for the longest time, for years in a row, Azzaro Wanted by Night was my top favorite, and I wouldn't touch anything else in the line because all that was really available was Wanted, the original, and Tonic. And I didn't really care for either of those. So Wanted by Night was always my top pick. After they started releasing some flankers, it's gotten more challenging. We're kind of to the point now where I've got this, I've got Forever Wanted Elixir, and Wanted by Night is kind of my top three. Hard to put those in order, so I'm not going to, but you know, that's kind of where I fall with these. This one here has vanilla, it's got ginger and woody notes, pretty simplistic note breakdown, but still kind of maintains an Azzaro Wanted smell in terms of pretty simplistic note breakdown, but it does maintain a lot of similarities to Azzaro the Most Wanted, you know, in terms of just kind of having that toffee gourmand type of sweetness. This one just takes it in a little bit more of a mature direction. Still very sweet, but just a different twist. I love this stuff. Great performer, usually around $85 to $90 online. So not cheap, but in this day and age, that's not outrageous either. This next one, it's technically niche, but it's designer priced, and that's how it goes with this entire lineup. It's L'Homme Ideal Parfum by Guerlain. You know, again, kind of up to where I have my three favorites now. This one, the Eau de Parfum, and the Extreme. And similar deal, it's really hard for me to put them in order because a lot of the times that will change. The Extreme is one that would probably be ahead of the Eau de Parfum, and then this Parfum and the Extreme are kind of tied right now. But truth be told, you cannot go wrong with any of those three. When I go back and smell this each time, you know, there's something in the back of my head that says this probably would take the #1 spot. Maybe it would. This one has amaretto, leather, patchouli, and of course, almond. It would not be the same without that note. Now, the interesting thing is, or at least on Fragrantica, they don't have almond listed in the note breakdown, but you definitely smell it. And not only that, but I believe when you look up at the accords, you know, on Fragrantica, almond is like on there. So kind of weird that they don't have it in the notes, but I believe that it's up there. Doesn't matter anyway, you pick up on it and you definitely smell it. This is not without almond, which is good. And I would also wager to say that this is by far the most mature and gentleman smelling release within this lineup, especially smelling that dry down. I know I keep doing it, but in that dry down, you get that patchouli, you get that almond mixture. It just has this very luxurious, premium, classy, and expensive smell to it. And at retail, to be fair, this is expensive. I think it retails for $175. Luckily, you can get it on discounters for usually right around $100, which to me is an absolute no-brainer price. Know what you're getting yourself into, just like with all of these. And for the most part, some of these are a little bit more designer level, mass pleasing, but something like this is just a little bit more mature, a little bit more unique, and just know that going into it. But if that's what you're after, this won't let you down. It's a great performer too. This next one is Armani Code. This is the Eau de Parfum. This is like the newer version, basically, that smells a lot like Armani Code Profumo. You guys remember that one? They discontinued it. They also discontinued Armani Code Absolute. But then now they're bringing things back, and this Code Eau de Parfum in particular, it smells a lot like Code Profumo, basically giving you that tonka bean forward, root beer, cola, fizzy, sweet type of smell. Just a bunch of tonka bean, a bunch of amber, warm and spicy. And actually, some people might prefer this new version here because it's a little bit less playful, a little bit less, you know, youthful and juvenile smelling, because that was one of the main gripes about Code Profumo, was that it was just such a younger guy's smelling scent. Now, keep in mind, this one is still heavily in that category, but at least it kind of tones it down a little bit. You get a little bit more of a focus on lavender in this one in particular, which I really like. It just kind of gives it more of an aromatic, fresh, and clean feel, but still tying back to that Code Profumo DNA. Definitely recommend checking this one out if you want something similar to that discontinued scent, just without having to spend an arm and a leg and potentially getting scammed, you know, on eBay or something like that. This next one is Xerjoff Groove Xcape. Really cool looking bottle on this one. It definitely stands out compared to, I mean, the rest of the brand for the most part. They do have some funky presentations in some of their newer releases, but this one does look pretty cool. This one has myrrh, pepper, incense, and cedarwood. Woody, smoky, spicy, a little bit mysterious smelling just as a result of that kind of smokiness that it gives off. It's a woody, peppery, smoky, spicy, fall style scent. That's what I see this one used for. You could easily wear it into wintertime as well. It would work, of course, but I think there are better options for winter, some sweeter scents, but these spicier, woodier, smoky style scents I think are perfect for fall. The fact that it has something different smelling about it just makes me gravitate towards it. It makes me remember it. There are so many fragrances that I own that are easily forgettable. They just sit there and collect dust because there's nothing about them that stand out in a way to where I think to wear them or to even pick them up and smell them. Not the case with this. You know, it's different enough to where, you know, I'll think about it from time to time and I wear it and I go, you know what? This is a nice change of pace. This next one is Versace Eros Najim, and I'll tell you, this smells nothing like Eros. Really, really interesting flanker. It's kind of one of those exclusive editions that is, well, aside from on discounters now, very hard to get otherwise in the United States. That's usually how these Middle Eastern exclusives go. This one has caramel, incense, cardamom, some orange as well. You can tell it's not really aimed for the U.S. market. That's kind of why it's, you know, not, you know, a U.S. release. It's an exclusive edition. But for us in the fragrance community, we want stuff like this. You know, we welcome some things that are new and different. And I already mentioned it, but yeah, it smells nothing at all like Eros, any of them. The EDT, EDP, Parfum, Flame, Energy, right? Obviously, it doesn't smell like any of those, just much more of a warm, spicy, oriental smelling take, and it smells wonderful. Fall and winter would be the perfect time of year to wear Eros Najim. So now would be the time to grab a bottle and get ready for that time of the year coming up. You can get testers, 100 ml testers for $90 and full presentation for usually $95 to $100. Every now and then sales will pop up and they'll be for a bit less, but you're going to be somewhere around in there, which for an exclusive edition, that is such a good price. And I was so bummed out when this was released because I figured that it was going to be impossible to get, but it has been consistently in stock on discounters for a while now. I'll drop a link down below. You shouldn't have any problem getting this one, at least for the foreseeable future. At some point, it'll probably start to get tough again, but man, it has been really, really easy to get your hands on, and I'm sure everybody who has wanted it has gotten it by now for the most part. We're going to finish this video off with a clone, a really, really solid clone that I just got here recently. I've already done a video on it, but I really like this stuff. It's Dumont Soprano Fury, this nice caramelized sweetness. Oh, it smells so good. I've already touched on where this one falls, you know, because it's been compared to Scandal Absolute and it's been compared to, you know, some other popular fragrances and things like that. Jean Paul Gaultier, Le Male Elixir and stuff like that. You know, it's kind of just in that category, right? Key word here. To me, it's not as cut and dry as saying, oh, it's exactly like this or exactly like that. It's kind of taking bits and pieces from some of those popular fragrances that I already mentioned off and maybe a few more and just kind of combining it into one. You know, if you were to go out and buy all those fragrances I was just mentioning there, you're going to be spending quite a bit of money. This is around like $40 to $45 and it gets you into a scent that has a ton of mass appeal and also is very much up to date as far as falling right in line with all of the trendy new fragrances that you hear talked about all the time. Very, very sweet. So again, know what you're getting yourself into here. If you're not a big fan of overly sweet fragrances, this is not going to be for you. And if you want to grab a bottle, you could go over to Perfume Box and use code CHAOS10 for 10% off site-wide. They carry all the Dumont fragrances, all the nitros and stuff, and a bunch of other stuff as well. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. Some fragrances that I just think are amazing, each for their own, you know, different ways, and each provides something different. I'll drop links to everything down below to discounters if you want to do some shopping. Go check out my community tab. I'm posting deals and rare fragrances over there every day. You can also sign up to my mailing list and get those to your email as well. Got some more coupon codes down below as well. Perfume Box, Vinba Fragrance, some Joma Shop codes as well. All of that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.